recent years, Benchmade has been kind of criticized for reducing the quality and the workmanship and the materials of their knives without reducing the prices of their knives. So to demonstrate what the economics of this are, I'm going to compare this knife with a similar knife, which is the Zero Tolerance 0452 carbon fiber. So this is the Benchmade, this is the Zero Tolerance. Similar knives in size, which is one reason that I decided to compare them. Another reason that I decided to compare them is that these are both knives that are made in America. They are actually made in the same city, in Portland, Oregon. So Zero Tolerance and Benchmade factories are only about 16 miles apart. So they're coming from the same labor pool, they're manufacturing in the same area. This is a very good comparison for economics as far as knives go. Depending on where you get these, the prices are pretty similar. Prices on the Zero Tolerance right now are ranging from about $220 to $275. Very similar for the Benchmade. I bought both of these at brick and mortar stores, so I actually paid $200 for this one, and I paid around $215 for this one. So pricing very similar. However, the materials and the workmanship that we're dealing with are not similar at all. So if you do a breakdown on the Benchmade, the blade is D2 steel. D2 steel runs about $16 for a billet that you could make 2 or 3 blades out of. The handle is what they call CF Elite, which is carbon fiber reinforced nylon, which is pretty much the same as glass reinforced nylon. I'm sure the carbon fiber version is a little bit more expensive. I wasn't able to find pricing for this very easily online, but the tensile strength, the properties, if you look at glass reinforced nylon versus carbon fiber reinforced nylon, the properties are actually very similar. The feel is very similar. I mean, this might as well be FRN, which is dirt cheap. That I was able to find more prices on. The liners are hardenable steel. Usually that's like a 440 steel. Benchmade doesn't list it. In any case, it's a very, it's a good steel, but it's very inexpensive. Overall, what you're looking at here in the Benchmade, this is, right around $20 worth of materials. Contrast that with the Zero Tolerance. The Zero Tolerance has S35VN blade steel. It has a full titanium frame lock side piece. S35VN is about twice as much as D2, so you're looking at about $32 versus $16. The piece of titanium is about $45 worth of titanium here. And carbon fiber in this thickness is actually surprisingly expensive. The prices I was able to find tell me this is about a $40 piece of carbon fiber on this side. Standoffs are about the same. Bearings are not really that expensive. So overall, you're looking at about $20 worth of materials here, and you're looking at about $120 worth of materials in this knife. And the knives are the same price to me, the consumer, right? So Benchmade is charging you a lot more for workmanship, for whatever they decide to cause. Their markup is a lot higher, and the workmanship is really not that much, is not anything special. This knife is a lot smoother, it's a lot better machined, it's a lot nicer to hold, so perceived quality to the consumer, this is much better. Price is about the same.
One thing I will say for sure about this knife too is that it is far cheaper than the bug out, right? So this knife is Magna Cut. This knife is S30V. This knife is still about $35 cheaper than this one, which it should be more expensive, but it's not. And this is the cheap version of the bug out. Bug outs get way more expensive than this. So overall, less expensive knife. I think a better EDC, definitely better edge holding. So overall, better ergonomics, better steel, again, also cheaper.